Welcome, Peanuts fans! Today we are working on the Snoopy house build-up. This is issues 9 through 13 and our 4th box. In case you haven't caught our previous videos, this will be creating a giant doghouse with miniature scenes from the Peanuts comic strip. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can see the whole process and the final product. Each issue comes with additional pieces for making the Snoopy house, and it also comes with an instruction booklet with some additional information on the Peanuts comic strip. If you're considering buying into this 130 issue series, just be aware DeAgostini is sometimes very slow on their shipping. In this series, we are getting more Daisy Hill Puppies, and also we're getting Woodstock in his nest. Plus, things will get sticky in this one, so be sure to stick around. Let's get started with issue number 9. We have some materials for making curtains in here, and also Olaf. Plus the start of a bedspread. We're going to start with the window flowers, and we're definitely going to need some glue to keep them affixed in place. Next, getting started on the curtains. This double stick tape is used a lot. And to shape the curtains, they include twist ties. Next, I'm getting out the pole for the curtain. You can see it's starting to come together. For the end pieces, I'm going to glue them on because they are not very tight at all. Now we can start to form the curtains so they look lifelike. Just so you know, I put in a lot of work, but then the tape doesn't really like to stick. So I might have to come up with a different solution than their double stick tape. Then just a bit of glue on the back to hold everything in place. Plus we can get this back wall in. Looking good. And we can finally put in the sidewalls. Everything's coming together, which is great to see since nothing quite feels like it's finished yet. Next, we're working on the bedspread, which needs glue put on the fabric. Unfortunately, the instructions mention PVA glue, but they only gave me white glue, which I had to look up to make sure it was the correct glue. I wish the name in the instructions matched the name of the glue that they sent in the kit. Also, I wish they had told us this first so it could have dried while I was working on the curtains. After figuring out what glue to use, I got out some waxy paper so it wouldn't stick to the surface. Then I mixed the glue with some water and spread the mixture on the fabric. While that's drying, we're gonna have to move on to the next issue. Inside this one, we have parts of the bed that we were making and also Andy. Let's see how he fits in there. Looking good. And we have a flower pot and some flowers. Plus, there is a tweezer in here, which would have been handy earlier. First, we're going to work on the flowers and cutting out all these delicate paper pieces. And they mention you need an object to put a divot in the middle, so I used this brush I had on hand and used the tweezers to put a vein in the leaves. Next, we're going to need some white glue, and this bottle is terrible, so we're just going to open it up. Making these flowers was definitely a delicate operation, which I needed 2 tweezers for. There's a final flower. Next, I'm filling the flower pot up with glue and trying to arrange these floppy flowers. You can see how putsy this can be to get it looking just right and actually working. Here's the final product. Looking good. Finally, the bedspread is dry, so we can get moving on that part of the project. I just need to cut it out according to the template and start adding lots and lots of double-sided tape. The glue does seem to help stop the fraying of the fabric. However, you still want to be careful when handling it and not handle it too much. And believe me, there's a lot of handling. And we're back to our trusty twist ties to give this bedspread dimension. But let's get this bed together so we can get it made. Just pop in the headboard here. Good old double-sided tape. It only kind of sort of works. Just so you know. Now I'm just trying to fold the bedspread so it looks realistic, which is tricky when the fabric is very stiff and it's hard to work with these twist ties. It looks okay, passable for a miniature, I guess. Let's get these puppies into the bed. Andy and Olaf look cozy. There's always more tweaking to be done. For now, we're gonna put it in the room with the curtains. Cause next up, we've got number 11. We've got Spike, we've got some grass, and all sorts of stuff. Let's get Spike into bed right away. Next, we're building this post. I'm not exactly sure what this is going to be in the end. And the next scene we're working on is this one with Snoopy and Woodstock. First, we're going to mix up some more white glue and water mixture and get out some of this grass, which you know is going to make a big mess. I spread some glue on this piece and sprinkle the grass pieces on top, hoping that it won't get everywhere. It does. It does. I'm going to test fit these pieces and get them out of the way for now. It's looking good, I just need to leave it to dry. And we're going to move on to the sides of this piece. I just have to make sure the outside wall hooks into the inside walls, which can be tricky. Now that I've done the test fit, I can put in some glue and the screws. Luckily, they include a screwdriver, which is very handy because there are quite a few of these screws to put in, and they're in really awkward spots. It's all together. Look at those curtains not staying where I put them. Let's move on to the next scene. I also wish that they would make sure you can't put in the walls the wrong way around. This is why I always test fit and double check the directions. This could easily turn into a disaster. And now for the side walls. We are back to this messy grass, trying to minimize the amount of grass that gets everywhere by knocking off anything that's really loose. And I'm going to test fit it in its seam, which proves tricky to get it into place. Instead, the whole thing just falls apart. And I'm going to build it a little differently from the instructions, so I know it's in there correctly. Next, I'm going to patch some of this grass so it looks consistent. And we're back to the bed. Just gotta figure out where it slots in and make sure everyone is properly tucked into the bed. Don't forget their cookies. We better get Snoopy into bed, otherwise he'll miss out on the cookies. It just does not want to stay together. Let's get this post into place and look at all those puppies. So cute. Another switch back to the grass. we're going to be putting in Woodstock's tree along with all of the other pieces for this scene, except for Snoopy. I'll get started with the houses and bushes in the back. And to make sure things stay put, I need to move the grass out of the way, and a paintbrush comes in handy. Next, it's time to get Woodstock's nest ready, including these little tiny leaves. Let's get this cleared out so Woodstock's tree has a good perch. And yet another fence. And finally, Woodstock gets his home. Well, today we worked on roses, curtains, the Daisy Hill puppy bed, and Woodstock's nest. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite scene. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support more videos like this, visit me online at patreon.com and CollectPeanuts.com. Now I have to get all this grass vacuumed up. Happy crafting, Peanuts fans! Bye!